WTBQ.
Hello, my name is Marina K. Solario from the Red Shutters in Warwick, New York, a full-service decorating and design firm located on Railroad Avenue just across from the train station. Warwick is about an hour north of New York City. We serve our clients every day to introduce style, taste, and help them make great decisions. We are here today on The Style Show, a show about decorating, fashion, and fun. We welcome you, and please encourage your friends to listen. They can log in from anywhere in the world to www.wtbq.com by clicking live, or they can call in at 845-651-1110 with questions. Today we're going to speak with friends from Duralee Fabrics. I'm here with my co-host also, Jude Hammerly.
Thank you.
I want to announce for some upcoming workshops that we're going to do for the fall to put in your calendar at the Tuxedo Park Library. They are going to be held September 12th, October 10, and November 14. And these are the workshops that we do. One is called Your Home is the Story of Your Life. The other one is called Use What You Have Decorating, and Trend or Frat Smart Decorating Choices. You can get information on these by logging into our website at www.theredshutters.com and then signing up for our email, in which case you'll receive notifications of our workshops, which are fun and offer a lot of great free information. So today we're going to talk about Duralee and their fabrics, and I want to encourage you all to come into the store and look at their books. They're one of my favorite fabric companies. I use them very often, and we are delighted with their approach to value and the great fabrics that they produce for their value, and they're just simply beautiful, and they're well presented. They're easy to use. They're an easy company to work with, and we're delighted to have them here today. Are they here? Are we on? Great. Allison? Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I didn't realize you were on the line. Welcome.
I was just waiting for the right moment to come in.
Great. Well, we're delighted to have you here. And, it's just over the weekend. I was working on a client's beach house and easily, brought your books along and chose fabrics for their window treatments. We chose a great selection of one of your vinyls for ottomans that we're going to use there, and it's just a great company to work with in terms of selections and choices, and I'd love to know more about what you feel makes Duralee unique.
Well, it's so interesting because it's really important for our customers to know the dynamics of this company. It's pretty integral to the product that we create. We're family owned, and just last year we celebrated our 60th anniversary. And to this day, our founder and CEO, Lenny Silberman, sits in his office eating his tuna sandwich. He maintains a vested interest in his employees and the products that we produce.
And I did notice he was at a Yankee game recently. He posted that as well.
He was, and we're Yankee fans here, for sure. But we've really created it for ourselves a collaborative environment here at Duralee. There are no egos and no closed doors, and we realize the benefit of a free exchange of ideas and keep the interdepartment channels open from our design studio through marketing and merchandising. We're all creative minds, and we feed off of each other in an effort to elevate our products and brand message. And this idea of open communication really follows through to our customers, and we invite designers to tell their Duralee sales reps and showrooms what they need. And, those messages of, I'd like to see more mohairs, or I've been designing with more clear colors, do reach our design studio. And the collections have really been created specifically to address these needs. For example, you'll see quite a few more velvets in the upcoming months. That demand for an expanded color selection in our velvets is there, and we're meeting it. And we've also been receiving request after request for Thomas Paul indoor-outdoor prints. And we're happy to announce that Thomas's third collection for us will be indoor-outdoor product, and that's slated for release in October. So,
great. I noticed that on Facebook this morning. So to our listeners, you can go on to Facebook and like Duralee and also like the Red Shutters, and you can see their latest outdoor fabrics there.
Yeah, we're so excited about that. We're first and foremost product-driven. Our aim is to really put out the most comprehensive catalog of fabrics that we possibly can. We want designers to know that they can find it at Duralee. And, we take a different approach than most to our licensing. one of the top questions we're asked is, how can I get a fabric line at Duralee? And, we don't license simply so that we could put a name on our samples and selvages. We do it because that designer has a unique perspective to bring to the table, and that gives us the ability to add something new to the marketplace and hopefully inspire the designers using that product. So we really do take pains to put out the best possible product that we can.
I've noticed from going down to High Point and looking around in other of the many markets in which fabrics are displayed and sold, that some of your competitors are moving into the creation of furniture and what have you. Is Duralee considering that? Are you doing it already? Are you a completely fabric-focused house? How are you looking at that sort of vertical integration model?
Oh, we're always looking to expand, but we have our own furniture facility in Morganton, North Carolina. And we are continuing to expand our product line in furniture. We're looking into some case goods to put out there soon. We do manufacture the majority in-house. So we are a made in the USA company as far as furniture is concerned. So we have that going for us. And we did have a showroom in High Point for quite a while. We sat out the past few markets, but it was always fun to be there and to show off our new goods. And in addition to furniture, we did purchase B. Berger, so we are expanding that line of drapery hardware, and it's going to be branded as Duralee Drapery Hardware. So we're really taking pains to become a one-stop shop for designers.
And B. Berger also has terrific fabrics. I mean, I'm just getting your books sent now, and I have all of the Duralee books if you want to look at them at the store. And B. Berger has, plaids, checks, some simple things that are getting harder to find now. So
right.
I'm thrilled about that. And to our listeners, I actually was in the High Point showroom at Duralee. If you want to go onto the website www.theredshutters.com and hit blog, you can see some of Duralee's pieces in that blog. And I do notice you have a couple pieces in the New York showroom, but I think you mentioned, we spoke yesterday, that you're going to be redoing the New York showroom. What's happening in New York?
We are. Construction on our new New York showroom in the D&D has officially begun as of Monday. We are moving from our current location on the 8th floor to a completely renovated space on the 6th floor. This will allow us to expand our current size of 2,800 square feet to over 6,000. So that'll finally give designers the opportunity. Yeah, I know, it's big.
That's a big showroom.
Yeah, it will finally give designers the opportunity to shop in an environment that really reflects our current brand. And we're extremely excited and hope to unveil it this fall. So.
And where are some of your other big showrooms in the country? You're in Boston. Where else are you?
We are in Boston. We're in Atlanta. We're in Dania in Florida. Also Troy, Michigan, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, L.A., San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago. Oh, did I say Chicago? I said Chicago.
That's okay.
We are all over. So in all the major markets, we're represented by our corporate showrooms. But New York is really our flagship showroom.
Right, and you really are a great go-to source for decorators. It's easy to use. How have you? What kind of thoughts gone into the way the color systems and how you've merchandised the books, so that if my customers come into the shop, why is it easy for them to use your books?
Well, product merchandising has always been a source of debate in this industry. Merchandising for interior designers is a really difficult task, as everyone shops differently. Do you start with color? Do you start with your pattern? Do you start with your statement print and then find upholstery coordinates from there, or vice versa?
Right. It's always even, when I'm setting up the books in the store, it's like, oh, do I set it up by chenilles? Do I set it up by color?
Right.
Do I set it up by outdoor fabrics?
You can understand that we have the same issue.
Right.
But we really, we ask the questions of our customers often, and we get feedback from our showrooms and from our reps, and really how it's done in the showrooms is all dependent on the market. And the product categories, we try and make it a simple, if you're looking for a chenille, we would like for you to know where the chenilles are and to see all the color ranges there. And with our book graphics, we try to make that as stand out as possible. If you're looking for a blue and you're specifically looking for a blue, we put that on our color book. So
right.
it's an easy go-to source.
Right.
I would think that you could set up on is it Duralee.com, the website?
Yes.
I would think you could set up on the website a sort of a cross-tab system where if somebody wanted to search by color, they could search by color, and it would throw all patterns in that color into the model or something. Is your website set up for consumers to use, or is it set up for decorators to use, or both? And does it function in this manner?
It is. It is. We just launched our brand new Duralee.com in January, and that search option is integral to how it works.
And I have to tell you, too, I mean, when I was working on this beach house over the weekend, and then 2 weekends ago in New York City apartments, I was working on 2 apartments. One of the things I like about your site is that I can log in and make sure you've got stock on what I've chosen for the project. So that is a huge plus for designers, because if you're in a location that's not close to your home base, and you've now got to select another fabric, that's not easy. So I want to know that you've got the stock that I need to go forward. So that's a great feature of your site.
Absolutely. We wanted to make sure that you can see that stock in real time, because you don't want to pick a fabric that isn't necessarily available at the moment. And our site is available for anybody to view. However, if you wanted to view stock and pricing, you would have to log in with your Duralee account. So the search is set up 2 different ways. We do have a keyword search, so if you're just looking for a green plaid fabric, you can just type in green plaid, and it'll pull up all of your options. And then we also have the guided search, where you can break it down by, I'm looking more in the Duralee price range or the Highland Court price range, and I'm looking for a green, and you can specify a more specific color. You can even upload an image that you would like to match the colors of, or find a fabric based on that image search. And you can pull up the fabric options from there. We tried to make it as easy to use as possible, and you can be as general or as specific as you want to be in the search for Duralee.com.
It strikes me that consumers might want to buy a designer name brand of fabric, and there may be some large number of consumers that want to do that. But by and large, the fabric industry really gives an advantage to the manufacturer who delivers very high value for money. And I understand that Duralee offers, in comparison with many fabric vendors, offers very high value for money. Is that a correct assumption?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Value is paramount, and we know that designers are working within a budget. And so we take pains to go out with our design studio and source our materials that are of that high quality and yet still meet the price range that designers need to meet in order to meet that budget. So yes, at Duralee, our value is one of our biggest selling points.
Okay, well, that being said, then there's a couple of interesting things that sort of flow from that. The first is that the industry really favors the value player by offering the consumer quality ratings as to, let's say, how many double rubs a particular fabric would be able to sustain, how durable it is, which would allow a consumer to compare across product lines, across pricing lines, and what have you. So once again, the weight and the power of the market goes towards the manufacturer that delivers, a very high value for money, even down to the level of durability.
Right, of course. And, there's so many, as you mentioned, double rubs, there's so many intricacies in fabrics in general, and it really is important that you're working with a designer because they know. They know these terms, and they know the durability factors and the different levels of durability that are out there. So that was just an important point that I feel needs to be made in terms of working with a designer versus a do-it-yourself. There's a lot to know about this industry. It's not all cut and dry, pretty fabric. It's how well is this going to work in my home,
right.
And a designer will be able to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, there's tremendous freedom of design. In other words, if someone creates a hot fabric in another company, Duralee can know that, they can see that, they can sense it, and they can, and let's say it's a very expensive fabric, Duralee can produce something that is comparable, at a good price range. So once again, the power of the industry rests with the player who's delivering value for money, because your hands are not tight. It's not like, let's say some players can't, in computers, they couldn't copy a Macintosh because it's patented in certain ways, but you could deliver a very strong impression of a very popular and expensive fabric at a consumer's price.
We could. We have our own in-house design studio, and we do our own exclusive product, and we do it at a number of different price levels. Our Highland Court brand is the more high-end luxury fabrics that we do offer.
Right, they have some beautiful cut velvets.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was petting those the other day in the New York showroom. I'd love to feel them.
Oh, it's all about the hand of the cut velvet. It really is. But we do. We can produce that level, and we also at the Duralee level have the same look and at an attainable value. So that's the wonderful part about having our own design studio, is that we have that flexibility, and you have the same trained eyes looking at the product and saying, well, this is great in a silk, but maybe we could reproduce it in something else for a Duralee level. So it's important to be able to reach every consumer that we can.
Well, all of these points I'm making sort of point in one direction, which is that, a consumer who's listening to this show and it has some needs for fabric, could actually go into a decorator's showroom now and recommend or request to see the Duralee line, which, I don't know how often that happens. I think a lot of your recommendations come from the decorator. And, what sort of outreach do you do to the consumer that would build brand preference before they walk even in the door of the decorator? Is there consumer outreach?
Well, of course. I mean, as far as the media channels, we advertise in all the major shelter publications, so you'll see our ads out there. We have a very good relationship with them in that they will feature our products if it happens to fit in with the story. So, and anybody can go out there and purchase a House Beautiful or an Elle Decor and flip through and happen to catch something, fabric will catch their eye, and they can pull that and hand that to their designer and say, I really love this look, or I really love this fabric. So we're out there in those channels. We're online, of course. Everybody can view our products. You can like us on Facebook. You can tweet with us on Twitter. We're on Pinterest.
Right.
We're reaching out in all of these different channels, and the beauty of the internet is that we can do that, and we have the ability to do that, and it's not limited to just designers. We do encourage end users and homeowners to take a look at our products, and if you are working with a designer, fantastic. Then you can use our products, and we love that.
Yes, and I have clients that will go online on your site and then hand me this fabric and say, what do you think of this? So, and that's a great way to get started.
Right.
How has the fabric marketplace changed in, say, the last 50 years, and where do you think it's going?
Well, that's an interesting question. As I said, we've been around for 60 years, and before it was all very general. You went to the mills, you sold their product, but now it's much more specialized, and the majority of the fabric vendors out there do have their design studios that are specifically designing their product. So it's much more unique. We have our licensees now. That was not something that was really ever done. It's much more prevalent in the past decade or so that licensed collections are coming out, and as I mentioned, our goal is to provide product that's unique, and by bringing in an outside designer, you're seeing a whole new perspective. So that's kind of changed in the past few years, and of course, with the marketplace out there, there's ups, there's downs, and we've all weathered it. And Duralee, I can speak for us in saying that we've continuously put out new product, and we want to make sure that designers have the tools to work with. But yeah, the fabric landscape has changed quite a bit in the past few years in general, and we're all weathering it pretty well.
Right, and we're excited. The Red Shutters is also 63 years old, so we're both about the same age.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. The one thing that I think has changed, too, is the use of outdoor fabrics. And
Right.
I know you have a really great collection of outdoor fabrics. And recently, maybe 5 years, I would have thought, okay, outdoor fabrics, I'm going to use outdoors. Now I say to myself, well, they're actually a very good value to use indoors, because if you have
Right.
children, dogs, at the beach house, people sitting with wet bathing suits on their sofas, they're beautiful, they're durable, and they're basically very kid-proof. I mean, they're kind of
Absolutely.
really a good. And you have beautiful ones. You really have great ones. Have you seen a big change in outdoor? I'm sure.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you brought it up, because it's one of the biggest requests that we receive lately has been for indoor-outdoor product, specifically for that reason. People are living in their homes. That you don't have very many people that have the closed-off living room that was only used for special occasions anymore. The entire home is being used, and with kids and dogs, you have to have that product that is easy to clean.
Right.
And so, meeting that demand in the product scope, it has to not necessarily look like outdoor product. It needs to be able to come inside the home as well. And outdoor product, it's antimicrobial. You've got the color fastness so that it doesn't fade.
You can use Clorox on them, basically.
What was that?
You could use Clorox to clean them.
You can. We have our recommended cleaning abilities, which are on our site. So you can go on there and take a look and use the proper cleaning techniques. But they are fantastic to use inside the home for a home that is being used.
Right. And even, as pillow fabrics, pillows take a pretty big beating. So, yeah, they're
Right.
terrific.
Right.
And then in contrast, you offer, and I noticed just recently you released a velvet book that I've been using like crazy because the colors are terrific. And I just keep dragging it into New York City with me because that's what, it seems like a lot of the young couples, they want these velvets. And we're reupholstering chairs, and we're picking, sofa fabrics in these beautiful velvet colors. It's really coming on trend.
Right.
How are you choosing colors? How does that work for Duralee?
Well, I mean, it works in a few different ways. We analyze our markets. We have there is a board up in our design studio that has our best-selling colors up there. So our designers work off of that, but also pulling from the trends. We have a lot of trends coming out right now, and with the internet, they turn over more quickly than they ever did before. So our designers are constantly analyzing that, and that kind of goes along with our free communication as well within here, because I'm analyzing trends, they're analyzing trends, we're throwing them back and forth, and we try and put them together in a big comprehensive collection of, say, your velvets, because velvets are huge right now. They're huge.
Huge. Everybody wants them.
Yeah,
and
it
gives the furniture a real crisp look, a striking look. I also carry antiques at our shop and just frames, old frames, and we took a frame and we put it up on the website before and after. Where you take an old frame that's in a drab, early 20th century fabric, and then recover it in one of your velvets. We used an orange velvet, and it just was a striking difference. It's just amazing, the before and after.
And it just velvets alone give such a plush, rich look to any application. So velvets you can't go wrong with them, and we try and offer them as many color options as we possibly can.
Right. There are these beautiful purpley colors, and royal blue, and teal is big.
What about patterned velvets?
There are a few. They tend to be more tone on tone. We do have a printed velvet that we just released in the Laura Carrar collection. It's metallic. It's metallic on velvet, and it is just gorgeous. And metallics are huge right now, too. So it just got all of the high trends in one shot, and it's absolutely amazing. I definitely recommend taking a look at it if you get a chance.
And your vinyls, the vinyls must be doing great. I go to that book every day, I think, with the ostrich lookalikes, and they look so much like leather. And I keep telling my clients, I'm saying you can Windex it. You don't have to worry about it breaking down, cracking on you. It's really a great value, and it's being used in hotels, and the spa I recently did. We used it on the banquettes. We used it on the lounges in the relaxation library, and I'm sure that it's doing well for you.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned hotels. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a hotel and I happen, that's
your vinyl.
They hold up remarkably well.
And they're gorgeous. I encourage our listeners to go and look at the book of vinyls that Duralee offers. They are so beautiful. You cannot believe you're looking at vinyl. It absolutely looks like leather. People are said to me, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
So that's something you could say that's changed a lot in the last 50 years because, I buy a lot of antique furniture, and old vinyl chairs are not good.
No.
But the new vinyls are just devastatingly like leather
they
and just
nice
incredibly
hand. They're soft, right? They're plush. They have this sort of pebbled look.
So there's a technical advance that's happened.
The technical differences in the past few years have just grown and grown and grown. Well, of course, technology is just expanding, but in different printing techniques, we're doing digital printing now, which we didn't really do before. The techniques out there are just becoming less and less limited. So, and we're employing them. Definitely employing them.
Great.
You guys mentioned, I think, the show in your social media, and for that we thank you very much. Maybe you would want to direct people to your social media, use this opportunity to make sure everyone knows how to find you on Facebook or what have you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a big presence on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Duralee. On Twitter, we are twitter.com/Duralee Fabrics. On Pinterest, we're pinterest.com/Duralee, and we're also on Instagram. We do take some inspiration shots occasionally and put those out there, and some sneak peeks of new fabrics as they're coming into our warehouse. So we are on Instagram.com/Duralee. So you can definitely find us there, and on our new website, Duralee.com.
For your newest customers who will come solely as a result of this program, Duralee is spelled D-U-R-A.
I think we order from Duralee every day. Thank you, Allison. We're delighted for you to be with us. Thank you so much.
That's D-U-R-A-L-E-E.
Duralee.com.